Okay, well, after Shotty pleads guilty, Mel Murder ends up pleading guilty. And your case is still going. Now, the feds basically paint a picture about you based on Tekashi's cooperation. You're known as someone who always carries a gun, and you're a dangerous shooter for the 9 Trey Gangster Bloods.
That's what they said?
That's what they said. When you heard that, and this is the way you're being painted, how'd you feel? Considering here's Shotty with 15 years, Tekashi's fully cooperating. It's kind of a train wreck at this point.
Man, that shit was serious, man. Well, it was like, it was no way out. So it was like, I had to cop out. You know what I'm saying? So I just was waiting for the plea deal, and I was just gonna cop out and get that shit over with, because it was no way out of that shit.
Okay, like what were you facing if you had blown trial?
25.
25 years.
Yeah.
And in the feds, it's what, 85%?
Yeah. But with violence, you hit. With violence, you probably don't get none of that shit. With violence,
so a full 25.
Probably. With violence, with like drugs, you get like a little bit of leeway with the First Step Act and all of that. But with violence is
right, because you're 42 at the time. You're looking at getting out at 67.
Yeah.
Not a pleasant thought.
Nah, not at all.
Okay, so you end up pleading out. And in open court, you admit to discharging a firearm inside the Barclays Center in Brooklyn in order to scare rival gang members. You also pled guilty to assault with a dangerous weapon in aid of racketeering, which carried a maximum sentence of 20 years, brandishing a firearm in furtherance of a crime of violence, which carries a mandatory sentence of 7 years, and a maximum sentence of life.
Yeah.
Now, when you plead out, you hope for a good sentence, but you don't know. And as I'm looking through these guidelines here, there's a maximum of life. So you potentially could have gotten life by pleading out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, during this time, did you have a public defender or you had a real lawyer?
I had a public defender.
Okay. Why not just scrape everything you have together to get a serious lawyer? Because, I mean, it's basically your life at this point.
Yeah, but in the certain cases, like that case was like a sealed case. It wasn't even worth fighting.
Okay. So you end up pleading guilty, and the U.S. Attorney, Jeffrey S. Berman, said, today, Mr. Lovick admitted to a brazen and dangerous act of violence while inside the Barclays Center with Tekashi 6ix9ine and other 9 Trey gang members. Lovick fired a gun to intimidate rival gang members. We continue our daily work with our law enforcement partners to keep our community safe, to vigorously investigate acts of violence committed by gang members.
Yeah, when before I did that plea, right, I was telling them that if they look at the video, because they was playing the video, so I'm telling them if they look at the video, it's like self-defense. Like we walking, somebody attack us, a shot go off. If you look at the shot, it wasn't to hit nobody. It was like self-defense. I'm trying to tell them like we was being attacked. You know what I'm saying? So the judge said if I keep saying that, he gonna raise the offer. He wouldn't accept my plea because I was telling him like, this is self-defense. I wasn't trying to shoot nobody. You know what I'm saying? But they wasn't going for that.
Well, I guess what the judge had said, because I read through this case, was that, he agreed with you that you shot in the air and you didn't shoot at anybody, but you still were guilty of being affiliated with the gang and doing this under the gang umbrella, right?
Exactly.
And that's what really got you. It wasn't so much, if you were just a regular guy walking, by yourself in the Barclays Center and a bunch of 50 guys start to attack you and you fired off your gun, that may have been self-defense. You could have gotten away with it, but they put that gang jacket on you,
yeah,
which basically buried you in this case.
That's a fact.
Okay, so you plead guilty, but you're not sentenced yet. And then on September 16th, the trial starts. Tekashi takes the stand and he tells on everybody. I mean, not only does he tell on everybody, but he brings up new information that nobody knew about. I think he tried to implicate Jim Jones and Cardi B, and all types of stuff started coming out, which is really kind of unheard in the world of hip hop. I mean, you hear stories of, oh, so-and-so cooperated when they were a teenager, but you never really see it in real time where a big major rapper is taking the stand and telling on everybody.
Mm-hmm.
When you saw that play out, what'd you think?
It was over. Because, you know, that's all they needed was him to do that, and they had convictions. That's why everybody was copping out. Because he was telling everything. So I'm not saying why would you fight that, but like, why would you fight that? Like, you want to go to jail longer or something? Like, you knew we ain't had no wins with that.